Alright, so today's the evening of day 59. I bought these two little red-tailed catfish 59 days ago, almost 2 months ago. And when I bought them, they were 2 weeks old at about 2 inches. And now they're over 5 inches. These guys are really big. Take a look at these guys. They are monsters compared to what they... To kind of give you an idea, if you actually take a look at this filter, these tiny little slots in here, I actually had one go inside the filter in this little tiny slot. That's how big they were just 2 months ago. And look at how big they are now. They are massive compared to when I first got them. So I was doing water changes every single week on this hot tub, this catfish pond. This is like an old hot tub, holds about 400 gallons if you fill it all the way to the top. And I've been filling it pretty much to, if you actually look at how far it is from the light here, I was filling it right about here, about this far down. And in a week, well, actually it's been 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, it's evaporated that much. And I figure that much is probably about 50 gallons. So we've had 50 gallons of evaporation over 2 weeks, which is unbelievable. It's definitely pretty humid in the house from this thing, which is one thing I didn't really take into account having this thing. I suppose I could cover part of the hot tub. I actually have a cover for this hot tub where I could completely cover it, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. It'd be nice to have like a plexiglass top where you could see through it. All right, so today I'm feeding beef liver, a little bit of beef liver. Boy, is that enough? I think that's enough. I think that should be plenty. Should be enough to fill them up. All right, so I'm gonna take this camera, put it in an underwater housing, and give you some underwater video. Alright, so today is the morning of day 60 on these two little red-tailed catfish, and today I'm going to do a water change, and long overdue water change. It's been 2 weeks since the last one, and today what I want to do, I'm actually going to pull some of the biomedia out of that filter and swap it out with more carbon, put more carbon in, so it doesn't actually smell too bad. You can just barely smell a little fishy smell. But I want zero smell in my catfish pond, so I definitely want to increase the amount of carbon in this filter. Alright, so this is how I pump out the water. This filter actually has an exhaust port where I can just turn a couple knobs, hook up a hose, and pump it right out the door, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to set my alarm for about 25 minutes. Usually I do 30 minutes, but it's evaporated down quite a bit. I think 25 would be just about perfect. Alright, so I finished draining this. I'm going to drain it to just about there. And before I start filling it, I'm actually going to work on this filter. Oh my goodness. We got a leak kind of flooding the place here. But let's see. that's what it looks like. The dirt kind of comes on the inside. I'm going to bring these up to the sink, rinse them out, have a coarse filter, have a fine filter pad. This is where all the leaking water is coming from here. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can kind of dump this out here. We're leaking everywhere. Oh my goodness. Alright, so then this is what I'm going to change up. So currently I just have a little tiny bag of carbon right here. I'm going to increase the amount of carbon. I'm thinking maybe just getting rid of this. This is the biomedia. I think there's probably plenty with the sponges, and kind of the surface area of the whole hot tub would act as a biological filter too. But yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of this. Maybe most of it, maybe cut this in half, and then increase the amount of carbon in here. Alright, so take a look at this. That's pretty wild. I've never actually run this filter in that low of water. Yeah, let me tell you, that filter is absolutely packed with carbon. I packed so much carbon in there, it didn't all fit. I had to take some out. But let me tell you, that should bring the smell to absolutely zero with all that carbon in there. Alright, so check this out. I really filled this up. I think this is probably the fullest I've ever had this hot tub catfish pond. I think just reaching in to pull out the filter, I'm going to have to get my shirt wet to get down there and pull it out. But that should give them a little bit of extra water and account for evaporation over the next week. So I'm definitely not going to feed them. I usually skip the feeding after the water change. So I will see you in the next video tomorrow.